All right, we are at September 18th, 2025. It is 7:47 p.m. We are at the Village Council regular meeting. We will start with roll call. Let's start with Councilperson Martin.
Present.
Councilperson Grant.
Here.
Council President Camera.
Here.
Councilperson Pinter.
Here.
Councilperson Passion.
Here.
And Councilperson Koss is excused. Do we have a motion to excuse her?
Motion to excuse.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's move to the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just so you know, there is a bug over here. We're not being that weird. Okay. Next, we will move to our meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve our August 28th, 2025 committee as a whole minutes?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Who seconded that? Kathy?
No, okay.
I don't know.
Sure, second.
I did that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
it was Tony.
Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't write it fast enough. All right, do we have a motion to approve our August 28th, 2025 council meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Next, we have do we have a motion to approve our September 4th, 2025 council work session minutes?
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right. Next, we will move to our village official reports, and we will start with Police Chief Matt Dell.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything additional other than, do you want me to bring up probation at this point, or are you going to do that in Mayor's?
Let's do it now.
Okay. The only thing I would add to my report is that Officer DeJesus, his 6 month is coming up on September 24th, and he's been doing an outstanding job, and we're lucky to have him in the village. So I've made a recommendation to the mayor to end his probation and move for his final appointment. So that's it.
I'm going to put you on the spot, and if I'm not allowed to say this yet, but is there an award or something that you can talk about, or no, not yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's the, and I will slaughter this acronym. The Sheriff's Department has what's called a STAR Award. Every year they do it for civilians, they also do it for law enforcement. I nominated him for the Sheriff's Star Award. It's selflessness, teamwork,
Accountability and respect.
accountability, and respect is the acronym. And so he was nominated, and he will be receiving that award, I believe, October 17th. So there's a dinner involved, and it's a lot of public circumstance, so he gets a little plaque.
Yeah.
Star Award.
I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I thought it was important. So,
It's obviously not a surprise that day.
Yeah, it would have been in the October Chiefs report, but now that cat out of the bag was good. So I'm glad I have it.
for those that are not listening, it will be a surprise. You know that Stacy's not here. It will be a complete surprise to her. Everybody don't tell her. No, again, I just think it's important because that's, since we are doing that tonight. And I think it's great. So, does anybody have any questions for Chief? Anybody? All right. I am going to say that we had a long, robust discussion with our fiscal officer. And if you don't mind, we'll do it in your report later on. So next we have Mike Flickinger's report. Once again, it is an extremely long report because we have so much going on that this is in the council packet online. Please visit it. There are things in regards to the updates of the maintenance building, the lake improvement detail design, where we are and why that has slowed down. Task order number 34, 2025, the roadway improvement project, which is the Northland Plaza Drive, where we are and what's going on with that. Our water line improvements, this is talking about our North Lake Court that we discussed in our previous meeting. We've had numerous water line breaks in that area, so we are gonna be working on that. And Mike is currently designing that. Task order number 36, the pedestrian pathway master plan. That is the plan that you guys asked us to finish down Minerva Lake Road, as well as the potential of going down Jordan Road. I don't wanna say instead of, but also. So we are working on that. We had, myself and Jeff had quite a long meeting with him about that. We are reaching out to another company as well, and just to get another idea on that. So task order number 37 is the Minerva Lake Road Master Plan. Again, maybe I just started talking about that. So that's on there. They are closing that because, again, you're gonna see that a couple times because we're revamping that into a different task order. But again, it's all in here, you guys can read it. Task order number 38 is the 2025 roadway improvements project. This is to help with drainage, all of that good stuff, that's what's going on down there. So there's some updates. Number 39 is the Kilbourne Run erosion mitigation, that's what's going on over here. At the dam, and then we have task order number 40, which is the Valley Road reconstruction and utility improvements there. So again, it's a very long report, and if I read it super fast, nobody's gonna understand what I'm talking about anyways. It is all gonna be online. It's in the packet, and all great information, and again, email me if you have any questions. I also did email everybody, some dates that Mike was available to actually go over all of this in person, because that's always so important every couple months. If you guys could potentially work on maybe a date, it's not gonna make this newsletter. If you guys could work on that maybe in the work session and see what we can do with that. So, to get that scheduled. So that is Mike Flickender's report. If anybody has any questions, email me. And then next we will go to Mr. Jesse Shamp.
Thank you, Mayor. No formal report. Who would like to make the motion to enter executive session at the end? Okay, so I just want to add a quick addendum to it. To the end of that language, could we add and potential investigations of public employees? Shouldn't be a long discussion, but I just want to talk to you guys real quick.
Could you repeat that?
And potential investigations of public employees.
Okay.
Yep. It's the same revised code exception for exec, so it can just be handled in one motion and vote. And that's all.
Thank you.
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions? Not in regards to that, I'm just teasing. Okay, and then next we will move to our village planner, Mr. Eric Fisher.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Nothing too crazy to report. The only item, and I won't take all of Tommy's thunder, but P&Z had a good smooth meeting again. We'll end up having 2 conditional use hearings for you next week. I will send out materials between today and Monday for you, and then we'll obviously go through that at 7 o'clock on the 25th. And that's all I have unless there are other specific questions.
All right, no questions, so we will move forward. Again, we did advertise for that, we're good to go, everything's good to go on both of those, so don't forget, I will not be at that meeting next week, but I was part of planning and zoning. I don't know, maybe that I should say, I mean, he knows that it was recommended up to you guys. I think there might have been a little bit of,
Changes.
there was some minor little tweaks that we added in planning and zoning, so that's kind of, he'll be able to say that, but I just wanted to say it since I won't be here, that I think they're both great opportunities for the village. But it lays in your guys' hands, not mine. Okay, any additional questions for the planner right now? Okay. Next, we have our zoning officer, John Canty's report. I'm assuming it's in here-ish, maybe. Okay. I will say that I do always get emails for additional concerns, and I shouldn't say always, and I don't always forward those to you guys because those are being handled by John, and the process can be extremely slow when you start dealing with court systems and things like that. I'm not bashing anything, it's just he's shaking his head. So the only thing that I can say is I've received some emails. John usually does try to email people back and just let them know, look, we're working on it. I know that sounds like the same thing you hear all the time, but when you have a person that continually breaks code, we continually go after them, and it's a process. They either fix it or they don't, and then they have another one, and then it's a long road. There's not much I can say, but I get the frustration. I wish there was a better solution, but we are doing everything that's in our hands with a couple properties, and
This is universal. This is not
Yeah.
unique to the village.
Right.
Every city we work with, it's the same slow
Right.
process. It's unfortunate.
And I guess I'll say, it does surprise me that people don't just fix it. Like and I'm not talking about, I understand financial constraints, but there are some things that there's really not financial constraints to it. It's just do it, and they just want to not do it. And I can't say anything, I mean, there's nothing else I can say about the fact that we will continue to go after. We want our village to look the best that it can. We do understand financial constraints. We do try to work with people. But when the heels are dug, we have to do the legal process. It is. And I'm pointing that out because again, I get continual emails from one or two people.
I'm guessing you're kind of referring to some of these that don't have a resolution date on it that go back a little further than
Yeah,
just
we
a
have,
few weeks.
we have one that's been going on for probably a year to 2 years, just randomly here and there. Yeah, so again, we do the best that we can do with trying to work with them, and then again, sometimes, I will say, I thought maybe the one across the street would have been a little bit quicker because we thought we were getting somewhere, and that's kind of slowed down. I've seen people working over there, but there's some things that I know people want to see done faster, so.
Is there anything as council that we can do to remove some red tape?
I don't think there's a lot of red tape. I think, again, it's just process. It's people that just aren't,
Sadly, amend the 14th Amendment,
Which one is that?
due process.
Oh,
I know.
that's kind of awesome.
So, again, I only point that out in planning and I only point that out in zoning just because, again, I don't want to say our hands are tied because we are doing I just know it looks slow. I know people are getting frustrated. And all I can say is, the words you hate, we're working on it. And look at what Jesse will be dealing with a couple of those people in the near future and actually has been recently.
Mhm.
So we have been bringing people in here. So we're working on it. So anybody has any questions, always feel free to email me, him. If you have a complaint or your neighbors are complaining about somebody, send them in. Next we will move to Mr. Tommy Grant, Planning and Zoning.
Yeah, planning and zoning met yesterday in this very building at 7 p.m. And we met with an applicant for a conditional use hearing, and I think the recommendation is coming down to us, and the recommendation was basically everything is pretty good. The neighbors south of them, it's off of Cleveland Avenue. I forget the address specifically. Something 5001. 5100. Okay, we were close. The one thing that they were thinking about is as their business grows, that they may want to put a parking lot in the rear, which is the same thing and the same use next door. But because of our zoning changes, we have to condition it. And I think what the recommendation from P&Z was essentially, and this is, I'm spitballing, but it's screening for parking if they chose to do parking and working with us to make that happen. But that's essentially. They said they have potentially 70 employees, but they don't often visit there. But it might be a good benefit to the village to have somebody that has that many employees as potential income tax payers. Additionally, we discussed some future zoning for a possible planned district. I think we're moving on that. We kind of got some ideas as to what Columbus is doing with the zone-in project. And then what they're trying to include and how some of it is kind of wonky. And maybe we don't have the same idea, but it's really, and just like looking at Columbus as a whole, what they're doing isn't about tomorrow. It's not about next year. It's what does this happen in 20 to 30 years, and how do we set up our predecessors, or not predecessors, our future council people for success, and the village as well in the future. But next meeting is October 15th, 7 p.m. here, and we'll likely be discussing some potential options, things like Gahanna's Creekside, which has a nice little small but underground parking lot. Maybe that's something we'd like to explore. Does it look like that? Is it something somewhere else? But just looking at some more options in depth, so that should be exciting to at least entertain for future possible zoning changes. So we're definitely moving along quickly.
Nice.
All right, any questions? Again, October 15th is the next date. Next, we will move to Council President Camera, MPCA.
So NBCA also did not have a meeting this month, so 2 months in a row. But I will remind everyone that the garage sale is this weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I imagine that there's probably some fall event coming up. They typically have one October the 18th, so we'll plug that. I'm sure you could go on their website and look. But that's the best place to find out, is to go to MPCA's website.
Which is mympca.org.
I believe so.
I think so.
Yes.
You guys might want to double check me on that.
Yes.
Okay.
They are tentatively planning candidates night for the 28th, I believe it is.
Of October.
October 28th, yep, Tuesday, October 28th,
And obviously,
which is a week before the election.
and that would be here.
Correct.
If you don't know that, just triple check that we throw that on the calendar, just to make sure that it's blocked.
Yep.
I obviously do not see that as being an issue on a Tuesday. So yeah, just make sure we throw that on there. Do we have and I know that it's on there, but do we have a holiday date? Holiday party date yet?
That's what I just asked.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the
Oh, the.
like the,
Oh,
13th and 14th, I believe, of December,
okay,
if memory serves.
okay. I know it's far away, but,
No, it's not.
right, I know, it's Halloween, yeah, it's Halloween.
yeah.
Okay. Is that it for
That's it,
them?
yeah.
Okay. And then next, we will move to our committee reports. And we will go to Mr. Councilperson, oh my goodness, Councilperson Pinter, for finance.
Tons going on with finance. I'm going to provide some just quick highlights from Jeff. He provided us a couple things today, including just a summary of the last 3 years of municipal income tax collections. Looks like we're on track. Actually, we're above track, if that makes sense. Property tax collection, kind of the same idea. He did point out some delinquent tax, basically percentage of collections, and how it's went up a little higher the last 2 years. So that's good. He provided the August report, very detailed report. I did ask him we're going to have a finance committee meeting on next Tuesday. There's a few things he's going to bring up, but the report looks right in line where we would be in August, as of August 31st. Couple other things he also brought up. We had an RFP. I'm just going to bring this up. So we did have Brandstetter Carroll come in and give us a presentation for the new pool bathhouse. I thought it was really good. We talked a little bit about that. We do have a little bit of legislation to go through, but the key to that one is one of the high level things is we're looking to put that new pool house right there. The budget is roughly around $700,000. We have a matching grant, 50-50 grant, to where $350,000. So the idea is that we would pump in $350,000 at this point. The cost of Brandstetter is $90,000 as part of their planning, right? So, but just heads up on all that. That process is starting now, or has been started, and Jeff was key to that. Again, I did mention the finance meeting on, I think it's September 23rd, guys, sorry. And we did discuss while we were on break, October 14th at 6 p.m. we'll do another finance committee meeting. That one will be designed to go more into the budget for next year. And then we will want to have one in November, no date. We want to have one in November that we want to open up to the community as much, and try to advertise as much as possible. So that if people are interested to come in and ask about the budget, we can talk about that. We can talk about whatever they want in regards to that. So that's the idea, and Jeff is more than willing to do that.
Perfect.
And one last thing, I don't know how we want to bring this up, but again, we did talk about leaf removal. This was fun, right? And I don't know if we want to make a motion on this now, or do we wait?
what order, to select it? You can do it now.
Yeah,
That's fine.
so we want to make a motion, I want to make a motion that we select Groundmaster Landscaping Services on a one-year bid, one-year deal, for $36,000.
Yep, is there a second?
Second.
And that is it from the Finance Committee.
Now we need to
It's
vote
just
on it.
gonna.
Yeah, okay. Do we want to actually vote or do yay or nay?
Yeah, vote on it.
All right, Council President Camera, or is there any discussion first?
Just in general, we went through a discussion of two parties, and we decided that we went with Groundmaster due to their excellence over the last couple of years. Is that fair?
Yep. Council President Camera,
Aye.
Councilperson Grant,
Aye.
Councilperson Pinter,
Aye.
Councilperson Martin,
Aye.
and Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
All right. All right, next we have safety.
So Chief's report is in the packet. Please feel free to take a look at that. Just a few things for the residents to keep in mind. First of all, our police officers are well aware that the construction on Minerva Lake Road is challenging. They're doing everything they can. We're trying to get more signage. We're on top of it. Obviously, if you're noticing concerns that don't seem to be addressed, please call the police non-emergency line and they will absolutely look into it for you. We know it's a problem. We know it's a problem. Second, of course, schools. We know the schools are a challenge, but please know it really is just for about 15 or 20 minutes in the afternoon. And as much as possible, if you can either schedule your day or route around during afternoon pickup, it's just going to make your life a lot easier. It's just a busy time. We did want to point out the days are getting shorter and it's dark out there. And so don't forget your reflective clothing. Please be mindful of the cars. You know, this is a perception thing. It seems like more people are parking on the streets all of a sudden. And so just be really mindful of the traffic because they may not see you. So do what you can. October 2nd, we have a safety meeting. The public is invited. I forget the time. I'm thinking like 9 o'clock or something. Yeah, sorry, but it's announced and it'll be in the notices that Barb puts out. Y'all come, because everyone's welcome to that, especially if you have any concerns. And then the last thing we'll mention is the fun thing, and that's the garage sale. And that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's always a good time, especially for the police. They love rerouting traffic and all that sort of thing. They will be putting up signs, parking signs, you know, especially in the really crowded areas where there are a lot of sales all at once. They will be putting up no parking signs. We do try to make this as enjoyable as possible and let people get there. So just know, you know, we're doing everything we can to keep everyone safe, especially on the streets right now. So I think that's it.
Awesome. Works for me. Does anybody have any questions about finance or safety before we get to legislation? All right, legislation.
Perfect. The Legislation Committee met on Monday, September 15th this week, and we had a few people in attendance. We discussed the shortcutting ordinance that we're going to be reading tonight for the final time. We talked a little bit about the budget process and what we need to be doing in the future, just because that is a big part of the meeting. I did want to supplement on Tony's mention of the next meeting coming up for council people too, because I think it's a great time for other members of council to be present and be a part of and understand what the budget is, so when there are questions about it, it's not as a surprise. We talked a little bit about police salaries, retention, raises, bonuses, and income tax allocation. And we also talked about leaf bids, so that was the right thing to do. Some future legislation for the Valley Road and for the pool bathhouse, which you'll see tonight. And we talked about the Halloween trick-or-treating. Whether we should do an ordinance or a resolution, but I think we're just going to not head that way. But one thing, I don't know, Tony, if you had brought this up yet, but they expect the healthcare and benefits to probably raise by 8 to 10% in the future. But one good thing is last year, in the budget process, we set up an equipment replacement fund And I noticed this because this was last year's legislation, and I had brought it up, that, we're generating about $72,000 a year in a separate fund to make sure we're setting aside money for replacing equipment, like maybe an ATV, or, computer upgrades, or other things like that. So definitely some good stuff with some long-term planning, and things we had a good discussion, so.
Does anybody have any questions? All right, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, which I never do. It's been a long couple weeks, I think, for all of us. We've had a lot of meetings this week. There was one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We've got 2 hearings coming up, so internally, we've been dealing with sewer projects, roads projects, which you guys are fully aware of. We got the information for the tree surveys. I forwarded that, I believe, to everybody about a week or so ago. Me looking at that, it looks like Chinese arithmetic, so you guys have at it. We have a lot going on. I mean, I think you guys all know that. I think most of our heads are spinning. This really has nothing to do with me, but I do want to remind people that there is an additional work session, if anybody is interested, that you guys are having at 7 a.m. this Saturday. And honestly, we are working on 100 different projects, and I think all of our minds are going 100 different ways right now, which there's nothing wrong with that. So if you guys have any questions, want to email me. And that's my report. Next, let's go to citizen comments. You can go ahead and step up here. Just state your name, address, and then are we ready? Go for it.
I will ask, I know I'm going to go a little bit long, I really question whether to come here or not, so I hope you do indulge me a little bit. Craig Buckingham, Minerva Lake Road. During the discussion on the sidewalk project in your meeting on September 4th, you discussed the need to get a master plan together and to present to residents and ask them, what do you think? We have option A, option B, or are we better off with nothing? We just can't tell them this is it. The longer we discuss something, the easier it is for them to swallow. Well, you know what? I agree with you. As long as it is a good plan and you listen to the residents and make changes to improve the plan based on feedback, that's the way the process should work. It was also stated that I personally can complain all I want, but it doesn't impact me. But if you listen to what I said to the council meeting when I came back here in June, it was not against having the sidewalk, but it was the fact that you were starting this project without doing any of the above. There is no project plan, master plan, and there still isn't one. Alternatives were not considered, and there's nothing communicated to the residents. We were told this is what you're getting, basically, by not saying anything to us. I'll come back to this later. There was a meeting with the residents in October of last year, which was attended by many of the residents, and I know others that could not make it listen to the recording. This was a good meeting to start as an overview, but there wasn't really a lot of detail available, which is fine. There was discussion of why the road needed to be repaired, that there would be a 1-foot curb on each side, each resident would be getting a concrete apron, and discussion on traffic flow. But it was made very clear this meeting was about the road and not about sidewalks, that we didn't even know if funding was available. But that another meeting would be held if there were sidewalks, and we would be given the opportunity to review it, and it would never be passed as an emergency. So why am I negative on this project? As stated, commitments were not met. We did not have that meeting to discuss the sidewalk, and an opportunity to discuss any impacts it would have, and each and every one of you voted to pass that as the emergency. To make matters worse, after I spoke to the council in that meeting, the statement was made, we had a meeting with the residents, and if they chose not to come and ask questions, there's nothing we can do about it. It is impossible to have any trust when statements like this are made, and why I believe you should remove the sidewalks from this project at the time, because again, you don't have a plan. It was just demonstrated, in this earlier meeting, that we don't even know if we can do from all the way to Cleveland Avenue, which is part of it. Enough of that, I will move on. When I spoke in June, I expressed concerns on the impact on how a sidewalk would be installed on our properties, with slopes going in two different directions. It's very disappointing no one could respond with any detail. Again, indicating no one looked at or asked any questions about an obvious issue. There is also a large silver maple in my neighbor's yard which, affects my house. I'm very concerned about when you dig that you're going to disturb the roots and kill this tree, creating a danger for my house and my neighbors. Your discussion, there might be some kind of wall, but that is the engineer's job to resolve. There were some areas of concern that he had with the change in height between two driveways in the discussion, but that was the end of the discussion. This is September 18th, and we still have not had a response from the village. Don't you think we have the right to know if there's concerns and how they're going to be resolved? Don't you think we deserve to have a response within 3 months? Right now, my neighbors have a fire hydrant sitting in the middle of the yard. And if you look at it, only the top half of it, very top half, top quarter, is below grade or above grade. You're going to take out a big portion of his driveway, his yard. It's very apparent there's going to be a retaining wall, but if I look in this document, there's nothing there. So is there going to be a retaining wall? How is it going to be here in the yards? What is the grade going to be? Do we have a contract for a retaining wall? If so, I would like to see that as well. The fire hydrants. I posted out there, the fire hydrants were moved 10 feet into the yards. I'm pretty sure the engineer stated back when we had the meeting last year that we required a 3-foot tree lawn because that's where the fire hydrant went. Even if that's not true, I have never seen a neighborhood that has a fire hydrant sticking up on the other side of the sidewalk. So to me, it's very apparent that the contract either misread something or our engineer made a mistake. If not, if that's the way it's going to be, please provide an explanation of why. Because again, it just doesn't make sense. And so then it also makes me understand, I wonder, I haven't seen anybody from our engineer during this construction period except the very first day. Is anybody looking and inspecting to see what's going on? Looking to make sure the work's going as it's supposed to be? Is the fire hydrant in the right place? So just a couple other observations I'd like to make. Again, signage. Residents have been complaining about that from the very beginning. We're this far into it and nothing's ever been done. Garbage pickup was never considered. You gave us a recommendation on how to do it, but just to let you know, it doesn't work. The second Monday, we had to put it on the opposite side of the road. They changed what side of the road was going to be used, and so everything was on the wrong side. And if you don't know, the garbage, they pick up with an arm on the right-hand side. Everything's on the wrong side. The mail delivery, if you currently look at it, our mailman has to either drive down the wrong way in order to do it because his boxes are in the middle. He delivers on the right-hand side. So he either has to go the wrong way or he has to get out and walk around. And I wouldn't want him walking on that road surface that many times. Leaf pickup, do you have a plan for it? I think that's going to be a problem. Parking when the aprons are going to be poured. We haven't been communicated anything, and I don't think there's anything there. I don't think you guys know yet. How can you start a project because you don't have a project plan to say this is going to happen, A, B, C, D, E? I heard it's gonna be at the pool, that's not gonna be acceptable. Dust, I think someone mentioned that earlier, so you know about that one. Again, it's extremely dry, there's nothing in the plan for that. Emergency services, I had a neighbor who had a fire department responded to their house. Fortunately, it wasn't anything major, but you took the mailboxes down. In the future, you should consider putting some kind of signage because the fire department didn't know where to go. I had to flag them down to tell them what house to go to. Does the police department respond to calls like that? I know years ago, I had to have a squad come. Police department was there within a couple minutes, way before even the squad got there. The residents had to help direct traffic for the fire department because it's such a mess. But it comes down to communication. I go back to it seems like everything is just here it is and we're doing it and that's it. And that, go back to where I started, where come up with a plan, sell it to the people. If it's a good plan, people will support it. But I can tell you right now, you have more residents that oppose what's being done when a lot of them supported it. The implementation is very weak. My last point is just going to be a very kind of a sore spot with me. I have a lot of other things, but to keep it short. But very often you guys refer to this as the village's property. It's not the people's property. To me, even if it was true, it's very disrespectful from property owners. I cannot ask our village attorney what his opinion on this. I would challenge you to do that. All I can say is I'm not an attorney, but if I look up the definition, an easement is the right to use another real property without owning it. So if the village owns the property, they would not need an easement. So that's why we have an easement. But regardless, that comment is just very disrespectful. And I will make one last point. In the discussion when different alternatives and stuff, there's the potential, again, you're not pursuing this right now, of using a quit take or an eminent domain to acquire a house. I think that is an absolute disgusting option to even be thinking of, to take someone's house away for a path. I would hope you never go down that path, and I hope residents would never even consider it. Thank you very much. If I may add, just real quick, in the plan, you talk about where the property line is. You went 2 feet, being petty, but it's kind of irritating. Resident doesn't know, why are they going 2 feet additional into my driveway? And again, why are the aprons 10 feet? I don't understand that either, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Barb? State your name and address.
Barb Sutton, Minerva Lake Road. I just wanted to publicly thank, even though she's not here, Assistant Fiscal Officer, Mayor's Court Clerk, Police Clerk Lee Klein, and Officer Sean Corley, and everybody else who helped to make our First Responders Night this past Tuesday a smashing success. Heard nothing but positives from the agencies that were here. Appreciate our food trucks that came and the people that supported the hospitality tent. So, yay team. Thank you.
Thank you. And I cannot agree more. It is a large project that's worked on for behind the scenes, and you're included in that, so, yeah. It's weeks and weeks and weeks that goes into that, so not every single day, all day, but it's a long process, so thank you. Next, we will move to legislation.
All right, legislation tonight. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items on the agenda. The first one is ordinance 2025-16, which is for short coding, an ordinance amending section 432.38 of the codified ordinances of the Village of Minerva Park. This would be a third reading. And with that, I would like to make I guess we should have, do we motion to approve first?
Motion first.
Yeah, make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All right,
Yeah, I think we've talked about it a lot. A lot of it's just about being able to utilize a private drive to access a traffic light and get out safely into the roadway unless there is signage posted that says no entry. I believe that's it, right, Jesse? I'm dying.
all right, Council President Cameron.
Aye.
Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Pinter.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye. Resolution, it passes. Yes, ordinance passes. All right, resolution 2025-19. This is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor and declaring an emergency. This is the first reading with the intent to waive the third reading and pass as an emergency. The next one is Resolution 2025-21. This is a Valley Road Improvement Project. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor and the fiscal officer to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for Valley Road improvements and declaring it an emergency. This is a first reading for that. Next is Resolution 2025-22, Pool Bath House. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor and the fiscal officer to enter into a contract for design, bid documents, and construction oversight for the pool bathhouse project and declaring it an emergency. This is the first reading with the intent to waive the third reading and pass as an emergency. Go ahead.
Add the name.
Oh, thank you. And this is, yeah. Do I need to read the whole thing over and put that in there, or just
Just where we
clarify
want
that?
we don't have the name of the company, and Jeff asked us to
Clarify. that
clarify,
This is
that way the next reading it's in
to
there.
enter into the contract with Brandstetter Carroll.
That's fine,
Perfect.
that's fine, that's on the record, so next time, we'll get it in there next time before, yeah.
Thank you.
That's fine.
All right, the next one is Resolution 2025-23. This is transfer of funds, a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds and declaring an emergency. Then this is specifically first reading with the intent to waive the third reading and pass as an emergency. And this is for the storm improvement project fund section.
From the road project down there.
That's it for legislation.
Beautiful.
I don't die.
All right, next, let's move to old business. And I know we've talked about a lot of this in some of the meetings that we have, and I know you're going to Saturday, but I'm gonna just say it. Pool, maintenance building, road project, or survey are the kind of things that I'm thinking of. Are there updates to any of those? Anybody can start. Let's do old business at this point. Where are we with any of that? Or questions?
So pool, we met with one of the proposed RFPs and the legislation that we just read, 2025-22. We are moving forward with the architect firm that we interviewed the other day for phase one at the pool. So that's where we're at with pool update.
Perfect. Maintenance building, I can give you a tiny bit of an update on that. We are still working through the permitting process. We are at the next stage of the permitting process. All I will say is this, it is moving forward. We are almost to the finish line. There are things that they are able to do and start to do. Jeff had reached out to them, I believe, this week to find out when we are expecting them to get moving on some of their next steps, because they are able to. I haven't heard anything back, but we have been dealing with London Township on the final parts of the permitting. And so it does still exist, I promise. So just watch for that. I just I'm letting residents know that they are gonna start seeing people out there soon. I think I've said that for 6 months. Road project, we have a meeting tomorrow morning at 9 AM with them once again, to talk about more updates. I will get those to you guys as soon as I have this tomorrow after the meeting. I do not know exactly how that's, we have questions for them, they have questions for us, and so there's gonna be some processes moving forward. But again, we do, we do meet with them. This will not be our first time meeting with them. There is a person from our engineering department, his name is Cody, that does go and stop down there and checks on things pretty frequently. We've called him numerous times when there's been water main breaks and things like that, and he's kind of helped us through those to make sure that we're doing exactly what we need to do. So our engineering firm is in fact very involved in this project right now.
Are we, I know you're gonna get more updates tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So, but as of right now, do we feel like we're on track?
Yes.
To get it?
I'm understanding that we're on track. So they want to kind of talk to chief and work with chief. I'm gonna say village, but I think they're probably looking for chief for some thoughts as to next step of how we want to secure the road again during paving. So they just kind of, everybody knows this, it's been a challenge because of the apartments, it's been a challenge for numerous things, and as we continue to progress, we're just trying to make it safe for everybody. So that's where we are with that. Survey, I know we're ready-ish.
So, I've been gone, sorry, but the final version of the survey should have been sent to council and to our attorney and village planner. So the most important thing, oh, Jesse's giving me that look, crap. Okay, okay, so do you need to see it, I guess?
No.
Okay,
No,
and Eric, are you good with it?
At the moment, yes.
Okay, we would like to implement it, and so Barb and I can move forward. Do we need to make a motion or anything? I mean, we're just doing it, right?
We're just doing it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
have at it. Yep.
Okay, yeah, wonderful. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we had followed all the steps and that sort of thing, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to get this out there. We will be using the emails that the village has. First of all, I do believe we have permission from MPCA that they will send it. We are not getting their emails. They're not giving the village their emails. We are giving them the information, and they will send it out. And Barb, as much as possible, you and I can create whatever other communications and include the URL and make sure people know we will have hard copies here for anyone who needs that, whatever. We just want to make this super available, so.
Go in the newsletter with the URL.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think it already is.
The QR will be.
Yes.
Yeah, and the QR
If you
code.
want it to be, that was one of the things that I was hoping.
Absolutely. Yep, whatever works best. And I'm saying standard practices usually what, like 3 or 4 weeks for people?
Yeah, you keep it open for, whatever amount of time. I mean, I think we kept it open for minimally 2 weeks the last time. We had a window, people took part in it, and it was great. So keep it whenever you want.
Okay, yeah, we'll say a month and we'll just kind of see. I think most people will respond quickly in the beginning and then maybe a few more trickle in. But, okay, good, super excited. Can't wait to see everybody. Please fill it out.
Agreed. All right. New business. Anybody else have any old business that we've not talked about today? Thank goodness. Okay. Next we have new business. If you guys don't mind, let's do this trick or treat thing for 2025. Somebody wanna make a motion to approve or just?
Yeah, so we're gonna follow Morrissey's recommendation for Thursday, October 30th. So I make a motion that we follow that, and there is no rec date, it is Thursday, October 30th.
Have new business.
Hold on.
No, I just made a motion.
A second.
Tony seconded. Okay, and again, just all in favor?
Yeah, that's fine.
All in favor?
And we did one thing, I think we wanted to do a motion that aligned our date every year. So we just do another one with it, yeah.
So now I'll make a motion that we align going forward with Morrissey's recommendation for Halloween. And if there is a need to adjust it, then the council can make that change as we get closer to that date. So knowing going forward, we will follow Morrissey's date unless council decides otherwise. That's the motion I'm making, I guess.
Yep.
It's pretty long.
Okay.
Somebody second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. Are we good?
Trick or treat.
And then I think it's on you.
Yeah, no,
Tommy. Oh, sorry.
Part of new business, I guess. McGinnis's food truck will be this Friday, tomorrow from 4 to 7. And I have a couple questions real quick about Minerva Lake Road project. Are those fire hydrant, well, number one, I guess I should say, our question is this the current plan that's up on the site right now?
That should be the plan.
We have the current plan up.
Yes.
Okay, the next question is, those fire hydrants, that's temporary, right?
They're all in the right of way. I think they're to be kept where I think they'll be kept where they're kept.
Because this plan shows they're right by the
They
street.
should not be in the, they should, yeah, then if they show by the street, they're gonna come back. If they move them temporarily.
That's temporary, okay,
Right, but they're all within the right of way.
okay.
That's
I just
the-
wanted to, because that was a curious question, why are they 10 feet into someone's front yard? And I thought they were just temporary. I just wanted to kind of answer your question, because I was curious myself.
If I can ask, do we know that as a fact?
We cannot, we'll figure it out and post something online if it's different than that. So that's what I'll say for sure, because the engineers have full authority in that regard.
We can ask.
We can
Oh,
ask.
absolutely.
I'll look into that.
I will be able to get that answer tomorrow. Chief, don't let me forget.
Cool.
All right.
I'm gonna also remind, you already said it once, but this Saturday, council is doing a work session. We are trying to look into the future and kind of do some long-range goals and plans. So we do plan to meet this Saturday to go through that, so. I'm
And if you guys
excited about that.
need anything,
Yes.
you are going to have to reach out to myself or Barb. Both of our fiscal officers are in training this week.
Yep.
So I just don't want you guys to not get something because you're not, I'm just, let Barb or myself know.
I think I have everything.
Okay.
I've been given everything that we've asked for. I'm going to reach out to you, print some of it, just so you have it. Hard copies of it.
Okay.
But other than
And that goes for the rest of you guys too. If you guys need something, just let us know tomorrow.
Alright, so, we're still in new business here. So I'm gonna make a motion that council enters executive session under Ohio Revised Code 121-22G1 to discuss the appointment of a public official, or strike that part?
No, that's not, yeah, that, and.
And potential investigation of public employees. That's a motion.
Second.
Do you want roll call or all in favor?
Yeah.
Okay. Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Pinter.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Right.
Council President Kimmer.
I believe this is just council members in our term. We're going into executive.
I think at the first part, I think the mayor wanted.
Yeah, just at the first part, and then I'm,
Second,
yeah,
yes.
I'm leaving.
It'll be my.
Stop recorders.
This is gonna be quick.
Chelsea,
So-
is this the thing where we can't take?
Correct.
Pausing
Pause the recorders.
Pausing recorder. Pause.
Stopping the video stream.
It is, okay, it is 9:27, it looks like, and we have just come out of executive session. I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
It's 9:39. 9:39.
9:39, sorry. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.